Hi everyone. I just a follow-on video on how you actually get a O-ring chain. How do you get it to be functional again? How do you get it operational again? Once you've established that you got hard links, or you've bought a bike and it's been standing for many years, but it's got an O-ring chain on it, and some of the links are stiff. They're battling to move. What you can do, guys, is obviously, as you can see here, I've got the chain here in a vise. I've got it in a vise. And what you can do is all those links that are hard to move, you place it in a vise like this. And obviously, initially, what you can do is you pull it to and fro. You pull it to and fro. As you can see, this particular link, I'm just using this one as an example, although it's not stiff, but I'm showing you how to go about it. So that is your link that has got a problem. Then you first of all you pull it to and fro. You pull it to and fro. Your next step, what you would do here, is you would take your Q20 spray. You would take your thinner spray. Your let me just show you this lube spray. Your Q20 silicone spray. You would use your Q20 spray with the lube spray, and then what you would do is while you're pulling it to and fro, you would spray it. You would spray it in the top, in the center, at the bottom, and again at the bottom. Now, once it's moist and once the oil is in there, excuse me, I'm just putting it down, then you actually pull it to and fro. Then you pull it to and fro. If it's battling to move to and fro, what you're doing, if you've got a very stiff link and it's battling to move to and fro, sorry guys, I'm just picking up my hammer, then you actually knock it. Then you knock the next link, you knock the next link, you knock it, you knock it, you knock it, you knock it. And once it gets completely to the other side, what you do is then once you've loosened it totally, then you spray it again. You use your Q20 spray and you spray it there, you spray it underneath, you spray it underneath, you spray it there, you spray it there. And then obviously it's still tight, so what you now do is you knock it back again. You guys, you knock it back again. You knock it back all the way this way again. You knock it back all the way this way again. You knock it back, knock it back, knock it back, until you're on total on this side. And then you spray it again. You spray in there. Let me just get my camera there. Then you spray it in there again. You spray your Q20 in there. You spray it on the back. You spray it at the bottom. And you spray it on the inside of the bottom. You spray it on the inside of the bottom. And this is how you guys you will go to and fro. You'll knock it to and fro. Knock it to and fro. Get it to the other side again. Again, what you'll do is you'll spray it with a Q20 spray. Spray it underneath. Spray it underneath. And then knock it back again. You knock it all the way back again. You knock it all the way back again. Knock it. That's it. And this is now for the stiff links. We got a stiff link or 10 stiff links. You would spray it on this side. You would spray it on the top. Spray it on the back of it. Spray it on the inside of it. Spray it on the inside there. Spray it on top on the inner link. Spray it on the inner link. Spray it at the bottom. Spray it on the inner side of the bottom. Spray it on the inner side of the bottom. And guys, you just keep knocking it. You just keep knocking it to and fro. Keep knocking it to and fro. And that's how you get the oil in. Once it starts moving in now what you can do, once you get the oil in and it's busy loosening up, what you can do is then start pulling it. Pull the chain towards that side and pull it towards this side. Pull it toward that side and pull it to this side. And every time you do that, you can add more spray, more of the thin spray, the Q20 thin liquid oil spray with that nozzle. You spray it in and you pull the chain this way, and eventually you free it up. You eventually free it up by doing exactly what I'm doing, and you eventually get it in. Once you've done this side, then you change the whole chain around. You flip the whole chain around. And you put that side, you put the bottom end on top again. And once you put the bottom end on top again, you do the same story. If it's still hard, you knock it with a hammer this way, and then you knock it with a hammer back that way. And you keep doing that. And like I say, once it becomes really loose, then you can actually pull it to and fro. Then you keep putting in the thinner spray. You keep using the thinner spray. You keep spraying it with the thinner spray both ways. And once you got it loose with the thinner sprays, then once the link is actually loose, you can then actually go on to the next one. You know, do the next link, do the next one, do the next one. However many there are, most O-ring chains can be re-lubed if you want, if you call them. It can be re-lubricated if you want, by using the thinner spray, by using the thinner Q20 spray with a nozzle. You actually get the oil in. Once you get all the links easily moving and they're all moving and they're free, then you fit it to your bike. And once it's on the bike, then just go back to my other video. You'll see, I'll link the video below this one. But once the chain, all the links are now loose and they're lubricated with that, then please see my other video where I actually show, you know, just for standard daily operation, how you can keep your O-ring chain lubed at all times, because of these nylon plastic O-rings what they use to actually seal. How you can actually bypass that and get the oil inside. Just follow my other video, guys. But like I say, if you got any stiff links, then use the method I've just shown you. If you got any questions, please ask, and I'll answer below. But any O-ring chain can be brought back to life. Obviously, if the chain's stretched, then you throw it away. But in terms of lubrication and dry links, just follow these two videos, and you'll definitely bring back that old chain, bring it back to life. Thanks, guys. If there's any questions, ask below. Thank you, guys. Have a super day. Cheers, eh? Thanks. Bye.